Imagine starting a website in your college dorm with your three best friends, and 15 years later, it's worth over $1 billion. Sounds like a dream of a middle-class boy, right? And on top of that, what if I told you that the website you started was an illegal anime piracy site? Crunchyroll, once the rebel of anime streaming, went from an underground pirate site to the biggest legal anime platform in the world. But here's the twist. The very thing that made Crunchyroll loved by fans is now what's making them hated. And what is that thing, you may ask? So the answer is... This is the absurd story of Crunchyroll's meteoric rise, the billion-dollar deal that changed everything, and how anime fans went from celebrating it to questioning if they ever really won or got tricked. It's 2006. The anime industry is in chaos. Fans outside of Japan have two choices: wait for months, sometimes even years, for an official release, or take matters into their own hands. Piracy wasn't just an option, it was a necessity. Anime licensing was slow, expensive, and regional restrictions meant fans couldn't legally watch their favorite shows even if they wanted to. People used to watch anime on piracy sites. But let's be honest, half the time, subtitles on those piracy sites looked like they were written by Google Translator on a bad day. And dubbing the anime was not a thing back then. There was chaos all around in the anime industry, and you know what? Whenever chaos begins, a group of saviors always emerges. In the case of anime, that group was a team of 4 UC Berkeley students who dared to create a website that made watching anime easier than ever. So, they did what needed to be done. They created hope. They created Crunchyroll, a hope that is destined to misguide peoples. Crunchyroll was launched early in 2006, and in just a few years, it exploded in popularity. Millions of fans worldwide tuned in to watch unlicensed and pirated anime, and Crunchyroll was raking in cash from ads and donations. Yes, people were donating to a piracy site, but there was one problem. Big dogs of anime industry were watching closely, and they weren't actually happy. It's 2008. The anime industry was getting fed up with Crunchyroll's illegal streaming activities. And just when it looked like Crunchyroll was about to be shut down, something unexpected happened. Vinrock, a venture capital firm backed by the Rockefeller family, gave Crunchyroll $4.05 million funding to go legit. Yeah, the same Rockefellers invested in anime, which is said to be the richest family on Earth. Welcome to the modern world. Crunchyroll made a deal with the anime industry. In exchange for legal licenses, they took down all pirated content. And just like that, the pirate became a pioneer. But where there's success, there's corporate greed waiting to cash in. In 2013, Crunchyroll caught the attention of major investors, and the Chernin Group, a media-focused investment company, acquired a majority stake in the platform. This marked the beginning of Crunchyroll's transformation from a niche anime streaming service into a corporate-backed powerhouse. Under Chernin's ownership, Crunchyroll expanded aggressively, securing more licensing deals, increasing its subscription base, and becoming a dominant force in the anime industry. Then, in 2018, AT&T stepped in, purchasing the Chernin Group stake and making Crunchyroll a part of Otter Media, which is a subsidiary under Warner Media. This move was a part of AT&T's broader strategy to build a massive entertainment empire, leveraging Crunchyroll's dedicated anime audience. Under AT&T, Crunchyroll continued to grow, introducing original content, acquiring more streaming rights, and expanding its influence beyond just anime streaming, venturing into merchandising, manga, and events like Crunchyroll Expo. However, AT&T's time with Crunchyroll was short-lived, struggling with massive debt. After its $85 billion acquisition of Warner Media, AT&T began selling off assets to focus on its core telecommunications business. And that's when Sony saw an opportunity. In December 2020, Sony announced its intention to acquire Crunchyroll from AT&T for $1.175 billion, a move that immediately sparked concerns about a potential anime streaming monopoly. For nearly a year, the deal faced scrutiny from the U.S. Department of Justice. which investigated whether Sony's control over both Funimation and Crunchyroll would give it too much dominance in the anime industry, because the government feared monopoly of a company over a certain area, like Amazon in online shopping. But despite these concerns, the deal was officially completed in August 2021, making Crunchyroll a part of Sony Pictures Entertainment. And then with this acquisition, Sony dissolved Funimation, merging all of its anime content into Crunchyroll and effectively making it the largest anime streaming service in the world. This was a historic moment. What started as a piracy site run by college students had now become a billion-dollar anime empire under one of the biggest entertainment corporations on the planet. With no real competition left, Crunchyroll no longer had to fight for dominance. It had already won. But with that victory came a shift in priorities and concerns. Instead of improving its services for fans, the company started cutting corners, starting the arc of its downfall. Server crashes became the norm. Every time a highly anticipated anime episode dropped, whether it was Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, or Demon Slayer, Crunchyroll servers crashed harder than Windows 98 PC. Fans found themselves staring at error screens instead of their favorite shows, sparking frustration across all social media. Despite years of complaints, Crunchyroll never upgraded its infrastructure, leaving fans paying premium prices for a service that couldn't even handle peak traffic. But things are going to get worse. In 2017, Crunchyroll suffered a major hacking attack that compromised its user security. For 6 hours, hackers took control of the site, replacing the normal homepage with a fake update link that tricked users into downloading malware disguised as a Crunchyroll viewer. Thousands of unsuspecting anime fans clicked the link, unknowingly infecting their computers. And do you know what made things even worse? Crunchyroll had just received a $100 million investment, yet its security was so weak that hackers took over the site for hours. This destroyed trust among users, with many questioning why a billion-dollar company couldn't even protect its own website, giving Crunchyroll a major L. Then came the AI subtitle disaster. And if you are an old regular of Crunchyroll, you will definitely relate to it. In an attempt to cut costs and speed up releases, Crunchyroll started relying on AI-generated subtitles rather than properly hiring skilled translators. And result of this unprofessional behavior was glaring errors, broken sentence structures, and entire lines of dialogue mistranslated. Fans ripped Crunchyroll apart online, pointing out that for a company making millions in revenue, there was no excuse for such sloppy and unprofessional work. And instead of addressing user concerns, Crunchyroll made one of its most controversial decisions yet. It deleted the entire comment section. I mean, man, what the For years, the comment section was a hub for anime discussions, theories, reactions, and community engagement. But rather than moderating offensive content or improving their platform, Crunchyroll took the lazy way out. They erased every comment, every discussion, every piece of fan interaction, silencing the very community that made them successful. With crashes, broken subtitles, and no community space left, Crunchyroll's actions made one thing painfully clear. Now that they had a monopoly, they don't give a fuck. And let's not forget, they fired Mob Psycho 100's voice actor for asking about union contracts, which is the biggest controversy yet, and I can make a whole video on that topic alone. Crunchyroll went from being for the fans to being just another greedy corporation. What a shame. But is there any hope? Competitors like HiDive, Netflix, and Disney Plus are stepping in. But can they actually challenge the dominance of Sony Entertainment's in anime industry? So here's the real question. Has Crunchyroll gone too far? Or is this just the natural evolution of a successful company? Let me know in the comment section. Do you still support Crunchyroll? Or is it time for something new? My next video would be about something you tell me. So be sure to give me suggestions on comment section. And if I choose your idea, I would surely mention you. Till then, watch this video to know Sukuna references in all big religions like Islam, Christianity, and Hinduism.